morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice yellowtail. Beautiful fish. God, I love that. Nice hit on the yo-yo iron yellowtail. Close call. Look at that fish.
Hold on.
Another nice yellow going by. Go ahead. Full speed fight going on here. Yes, beautiful. Way to go, my friend. Danny's on. Nice going, Danny.
Yo fishing, baby.
Wide open bite. Get him, Brian. Fish there, Rich. Way to go, buddy. Another nice fish there. Way to go. Way to go. Are biting on the Independent. Beautiful. Jeff, way to go. Nice going, Mark.
Thank you, Phil.
Looks like James has got a fish. Nice. Excellent, Joe.
Two things are happening, and I can't even see the beach right yet. I can see birds off in the horizon crashing again, and I can hear some big pounding surf. Let's go down there and check it out right now. What a beautiful sunrise here in Surfside, and my suspicions were correct. There are birds hitting the water everywhere, an indication there's bait here, and there's a pretty big surf. You'll get some sets in here that are pretty darn big here this morning. Man, the birds going crazy again, an indication there's bait here, and where there is bait, there are predators. We're going to talk about long-range fishing on this morning's morning briefing as I'm getting ready to set up on this beautiful morning. Some boats are headed down to fish the lower banks, about 800 miles south of San Diego, where there's been some big yellowfin tuna. We'll catch you up on that. We'll talk about Ensenada. How are they doing down there south of the border? It's been really, really good rockfish. And we have two great rock fishing dates, the last ones of the year. You're going to want to jump on board the Island Spirit on December 20th and 27th. We will be there shooting photos and video and having fun. We're going for the deep water big cod with a special early departure. It should be a lot of fun, and I hope you can join us. We'll cover the surf, we'll cover the Channel Islands, we'll have it all for you coming up next right now as the birds continue to hit the water here in Surfside, California on an absolutely beautiful and stunning morning. Let's get set up. The morning briefing is coming at you next. Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful, stunningly beautiful Surfside, California, here in Southern California. It's a little bit chilly, but man, it is a gorgeous morning. We've got a lot to talk to you about. As I mentioned just a moment ago, we're going to cover the long range, we'll cover the Coronado Islands, we'll cover the Channel Islands, the surf, and so much more. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh, that is good, man. I need it this morning. Need to warm up a little bit because it is quite chilly. It's an entirely different day here this morning. We got so much to talk about, including those great trips on board the Island Spirit. Come on out with us. December the 20th and December the 27th, both Fridays, and both really fun trips. We're going to leave at an extra early hour at 6 a.m., but there's no increase in the price. You book with Ventura Sport Fishing. Get on the Island Spirit on one of those 2 days, and I will see you there. It should be a great time for the Friedman Adventures family. Can't wait to do that with you all. If you don't mind, hit that like button. We deeply appreciate it when you do that. Remember to subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel and tick that little bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. You can follow us over there on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. It is so great to be with you all here this morning. Well, let's talk long-range fishing and get into that with you all. First of all, as I have talked to the independents, and they are steaming their way past that fish that is located at 300 miles. If you haven't been following us, down there at 270 to 300 miles, there's a significant amount of both yellowfin tuna and bluefin tuna. And it's really beautiful grade fish. The yellowfin tuna have been 30 to 80 pound fish, and mixed with it are bluefin tuna, mostly in the 50 to over 200 pound class. There are some big bruising bluefin tuna still located down in that area. Those bluefin, by the way, are taken most of the time on a sinker rig. It seems like you get a little bit deeper down in the water column and you'll start to catch those bigger bluefin tuna, and they do bite at night. We experienced that on board the Independence with some nighttime fishing, some good daytime fishing. That is there at 270, 300 miles south of the Mexican-American border. Now, as you steam further on down the peninsula, you get down there in that 500 to 700 mile range. That's where some really big yellowfin tuna, and I'm talking, cows, over 200 pounds. The XL is starting there this morning. The Independence is going to be down there this morning. Both those guys are going to be on top of it. And of course, if they catch any of those big cows, remember here recently on board the XL, they had a yellowfin tuna that went 445 pounds. Really unheard of. A magnificent catch, probably a new world record. That was caught here recently, so a lot to keep our eyes on. And of course, we'll be doing that for you. That fish at 270, 300 miles is still there and still biting, so hopefully it will continue to do it. It's a lot of fly line fish, and you are absolutely out of your mind if you fish less than 60-pound fluorocarbon there. In fact, guys like Joe Martinez, who was on our Independence trip, he fishes 100-pound, 130-pound, and he's wise to do it. Those fish, A, have teeth, and B, they are tough and strong, and they will bust you off if you try to get away with 40-pound or something like that. So keep that in mind if you're heading south of the border, and I highly recommend you go back and watch the seminar with Skipper Brian Pfeiffer from the Independence on our trip. He goes through it all, how to catch that yellowfin, how to catch that bluefin. If you're out going on a trip here, you're definitely going to want to listen to it. If you just want to increase your knowledge, that's another good reason. Can I take a look back there for a moment? I don't see any birds. Oh, yeah, I do. Way outside there, I see our birds, and they are continuing to be very active here in SoCal. I see some birds a lot closer here. And the reason why I'm so nuts about that is because when I'm surf fishing here and I'm throwing some kind of a lure, whether it's a chrome crocodile or a lucky craft, I am constantly monitoring those birds, and I'm almost begging them subconsciously. I'm saying, come on, creep in here closer. When they're way offshore, they're feeding on bait forced up to the surface by predators, and I want that bait to move in here so it's within casting range, and inevitably you'll get hooked up. But I digress. So really, really fun stuff here in the Southern California surf. All right, we take a look also as we have been watching the Outer Banks here in SoCal, Tanner and Cortez Bank. You might be able to see Catalina, not really, but Cat's out there about 20 miles. Beyond that, San Clemente Island, 60 miles from where I'm standing, and then another 20 miles or so, and you wind up on Tanner and Cortez Bank. The Freedom out of 22nd Street Landing was out there recently, and they had 7 bluefin, 40 yellowtail, good bottom fishing. It was really great. Now, a guy who fishes with us quite a bit is Jason Kroom, and Jason was on board the Freedom, and he said, Phil, it's my new favorite boat. Man, I caught my first sheephead on that trip. I caught a bunch of whitefish, and Captain Trevor said, hey, Jason, looks like you could use a yellowtail. Here's a yellowtail. He gave him a yellowtail, and he is in love with the Freedom and the crew on board out of 22nd Street Landing. Jason, so happy you found those guys on the Freedom because they do great work all the time. They catch fish, but their customer service is really at a high level. Jason, so happy that was your experience out there. So that does point out there's good rock fishing. There's some bluefin out there, mostly look like 25 to 40 pound fish. And there's also some pretty darn good yellowtail action going on out there. Now, we'll take you down and take a look at the Coronado Islands and La Jolla, because that's where some of the boats have been fishing, coming up with pretty good numbers of yellowtail. The San Diego's been fishing there on the yo-yo iron and fly line bait and coming up with nice big quality fish. Not a lot under 15 pounds, several over 20 pounds, biting that yo-yo iron, fishing 50 60-pound, and biting on the fly line, sardine with 25, 30-pound. 30 is better, but if you can't get a bite, you might have to drop down to that 25-pound. Been some good scores, anywhere from, 10 fish to almost 30 fish. So it's been pretty good. They laid in yesterday. There was not enough reservations. It's the holiday season. It's tough to get off the docks, but we'll continue to watch that for you very, very closely and see how we do from there. Hey, if your garage door is giving you a pain in the neck, you want to call Joe Welker, our garage door man. And tax problems, they're all solved with the tax man, Tim Marquez. Heating and or air conditioning, not air conditioning, at least not air right now, but heating, yes. John Lopez, efficient heating and air conditioning. So a lot of good stuff going on in SoCal and northern Baja right now on this beautiful morning. Can't get any more lovely than it is right now. Taking a look at further islands, we take a look at San Clemente Island, mostly rockfish, and then we look at Catalina Island, where the bottom bite has been fantastic. You can catch sheephead and whitefish in the shallow waters. You go out in the deep, 300 feet or deeper, and a lot of times you're fishing 600 feet of water, so you're gonna need a 16-ounce torpedo or even a 24-ounce. I prefer that you fish out in case you have any wind and current. It'll keep you kind of straight up and down as well as you can do it. And there's been all kinds of big boccaccio and boscos and just big vermilions, beautiful rockfish on the El Patron and several other boats who have been heading out that way. Don't forget, the El Patron runs out of Long Beach Sport Fishing, and you can get on board by going to www.longbeachsportfishing.org. All right, take you up to the Channel Islands. Birds continue very active here, and it's been great rock fishing. 5 nice lingcod and limits of rockfish on the Aloha Spirit yesterday. Several other boats have been cranking really big numbers of fat lings and really beautiful big reds up there in that area. It has been spectacular. Remember, rockfish season ends at the end of December, opens back up in April. So now's the time to get out and take advantage of it. And the weather's been beautiful. Look at that. Nice, flat, calm, no wind. It's been absolutely gorgeous. Just a reminder, one more time again, December 20th and the 27th, both Fridays. Fresh fish for the holidays. Fun with the Friedman Adventures family. We'll have our merch on board for sale. And also, you will be able to sign up for our April opener on board the Island Spirit. If you want to get a reservation on that one, you can see me in the galley on board the Island Spirit on one of those 2 days and book your spot. I'm going to give you guys the advantage first of all, and then open it up to the public. That will sell out in a hurry, as we always have a great time. And if you'd like to jump on the Island Spirit on another trip, give them a call at 805-676-3474 or visit them at venturasportfishing.com. You can get on that 20th and 27th trip by doing exactly the same thing. Hey, Alan Rushing and his family, they're in Taiwan right now. My brother lives in Taiwan, and I spent some time there when I was teaching in mainland China. I'd go over and see my brother and goof around over there. Anyway, Alan is there right now. And recently, or not that recently, but a while back, I was so blessed and honored that he brought me a beautiful pot-belly knife. These knives are extraordinary, and they're great for cutting up fish here in SoCal or anywhere around the world. And there's a guy, Mr. Yan, Mr. Yan's Knife Shop. And Mr. Yan made this knife for me. Alan had him do it with his kids and wife, and they're there right now. And they brought him a Friedman Adventures ball cap, and he is proudly wearing that in Taiwan now. And that means the world to me, Alan and family. And Mr. Yan, I send you all my very, very best in Taiwan. I have to come and visit you someday. I would love to do that. Thank you so much. Hey, by the way, Alan and his family, they did the shrimp fishing thing. Now in Taiwan, they have these indoor pools and they're full of shrimp, and you actually fish for them. Believe me, my son Patrick and I almost came to fisticuffs. We were so competitive about who was going to catch more shrimp. It was so much fun. You actually fish for these things with a little cane pole, and then at the end of it all, you have a feast. You cook those shrimp up right there at the very same place. It's so much fun. And Alan and his family not only had a lot of fun catching the shrimp, but they partook in a beautiful feast, munching on delicious shrimp. That was really great stuff. So really fun stuff indeed. No question about that. Hey, if you're headed down to Ensenada, I skipped over that. There's been some excellent rock fishing. I mean, it's been really, really good down there. Captain Ihara on the Lucky's been doing great. Foca's been out catching a lot of fish there out of Botes Juanitos out there. Our friends at Blackfin Sport Fishing, Diego Puentes. There's so many great operations in Ensenada, and the Christmas season is alive and well in beautiful Ensenada, located 70 miles below the border. Highly recommend you give it a shot. And if you want to stay in a really cool place, it's only 15 minutes from downtown. Give Zeke Casas a call. Look at that view. It's beautiful there, and you are totally going to enjoy it. Really a lot of fun. Give Zeke a call today and find out more about that. All right, let's talk about what's going on 1/2 and 3/4 day fishing up and down the coast. It's been really good for whitefish and sheephead in the shallow waters, but if you go offshore, you're catching that deep water cod. Remember, right now you have to fish 300 feet or deeper, and that's where you get those really big ones. And from the San Diego border all the way up to the Channel Islands, up to Monterey, San Francisco, it has been spectacular up in Avila Beach and Morro Bay. Great rock fishing going on for the local guys as well as the overnight guys. They've been doing fantastic. There's been an awful lot of big lingcod here recently, and you have got to love that. I absolutely adore catching those things and can't wait for our trips on the 20th and 27th. In the Southern California surf, more barb perch starting to show up. This cooler water lends itself to barb perch because that is the oceanography they prefer. They like the cooler water. We're seeing it down around Huntington Beach, here in Surfside, up in Seal Beach. There's still some halibut being taken on the Lucky Craft lures, and down there at Big Fish Bait and Tackle, they not only have some new Lucky Craft lures in, new models, new colors, but they're discounting so much of their stuff. They're continuing their Black Friday sale. They're giving away a custom surf fishing rod every month for the biggest fish. You'll find out what the species is when you sign up down there, and the sign up is free. All you have to do is buy the ruler down there that you'll use to measure your prize catch and upload to their Instagram page, and then you'll be in every single month for not only the rest of 24, but all through 25. Great contest down there at Big Fish Bait and Tackle. With all this action going on, where'd my action go? I don't see my action anymore. Well, the birds were hitting the water when I first got down here. Once again, that's a good indicator that there's some fish around here. So hopefully we'll continue to watch it. Beautiful sunrise here this morning. Hope you are well. Hope you're enjoying the holiday season. And once again, if I don't see you on December 20th and 27th, and I sincerely hope I do, I hope to see you somewhere else really, really soon. Have a great and beautiful morning, my friends. Happy holidays. I'll see you soon.